It's proudly supported by Vena Mineral Water, Mini Cakes by Anmenzo, Just Wine 233, I Need Phones, Electronic Store, Amek Fashionable, Asus Looks, AK's Beauty Bar, and Type 1 Imagery.
A survey of what turns men off concluded that vaginal odor was one of the biggest reasons. Turn on your TV or tune into your radio station, and all you hear are adverts supposedly about medications that women can use to clean their vaginas to make it tighter and sweeter. Is it indeed true that these things can make a woman's vagina cleaner and tighter and even sweeter? How do we take care of the vagina so that it does not emit these bad odors? Today on Love Unlocked Unscripted, we are looking at taking care of the vagina, what to do and what not to do. My name is Akwesi Akunedo. I'll be right back. Yeah, welcome back. This is Love Unlocked Unscripted. My name is Akwesi Akunedo. Today, we are going to talk about the vagina, how to take care of the vagina. And to help me do this discussion, I have my sisters back. Say hello to Quinita.
Hi everyone.
And next to Quinita, I have Afua. Afua, welcome
Hello.
back. Okay, so here's my problem. There's this weird saying that the vagina is self-cleaning. Me, look, I don't believe it. I don't believe that the vagina is self-cleansing. But it's a thing out there. And I'm wondering, is that a way that women, use to kind of refuse to clean themselves?
Okay. Medically, they believe that some of the discharges that you have all the time, they are not the supposedly candidiasis or infections that we are talking about. But it's a way that the vagina is releasing some sort of cleansing. But to me, looking at the kind of heat we have in Africa, the kind of materials we wear in Africa, I think you need an extra wash.
Yeah.
I
What do you
that's
think?
how-
Okay, so I'll add to that in the sense that just as we both come from the same background of health science, right? Per our background, we have that understanding because as part of the physiology of a woman, we know that the vagina has secretions,
Right.
and the secretions have microorganisms that help in shedding off some foreign or unwanted materials or microorganisms in the vagina. But and so that is why it is said it is self-cleansing. But the point is, have you inserted your finger? Like when you go to the bathroom in the evening to even have a bath, or in the morning when you wake up, have you, or let's say let me give a typical day. It's a Saturday.
Right.
You woke up at about 6 a.m. You've been busy the whole day doing chores and you've not had the opportunity to have a bath.
Right.
Now, by like 6 p.m., 7, you finished with your chores, you are settled and all that. You are now having your bath. Have you actually inserted your finger in your vagina and actually just pass it under your nostrils?
Yeah.
Everyone is cringing.
Right.
The stench, I mean, it's not awful, but it's just unpleasant.
It's unpleasant.
You
Right.
don't
You
even
get
need
it.
to use your finger.
Just
Even
remove your palm.
Just sitting down, the
Yes.
flash of the scent.
Exactly. It's so unpleasant. I mean, it's not. Yes, it's unpleasant. It's not like a total put off, but I'm just saying it's unpleasant. And for you, the woman herself, you realize that you can't even open your legs, because when you open your legs, you can actually perceive the unpleasantness
of your
exactly.
Right.
So when you go and you wash with water, right? You insert your finger and splash warm water to, bring whatever you are perceiving is excess fluid of what is supposed to be a self-cleansing system of the vagina. So you use your finger, and then with warm water you wash it off, you insert, and you push, like you splash the water there, and you clean there. You get it. You come back the next day or the next morning, and there is still, so it means that round the 24 hours the vagina is secreting this fluid.
Right.
So if you are, imagine not clean, like not washing it off at all, can you imagine how terrible the stench would be? Because if you wash it morning, afternoon, evening, or even at every time you urinate, and you have water with you, and you fetch like a pill of it, and you wash yourself, and you wash your vagina after you urinate, even though we don't urinate from our vagina, but I'm just saying, you can wash your vagina with water or warm water like 100 times a day. There will still be secretion and production of the fluid. So why wouldn't you just do it and feel fresh for yourself, especially if you like the cunnilingus? I mean,
so then why? Because the moment a man complains that some women have very unpleasant vaginal odor, the first defense we come to is, well, the vagina is self-cleansing. So are we using that as an excuse?
I think so. I think that you see, some of these discussions, like some of these things, when you want to talk about it, you end up sounding anti-feminist, anti-this, anti-that, anti-that, and male pleasing and stuff like that, without people actually listening to what you are saying. Do you understand? Look, there is a home remedy. Like, for instance, people talk about, there are certain people who talk about the vagina, and they talk about the fact that people insert things into the vagina to make it tighter and stuff like that. There is a home preparation, okay? When you make that preparation, and this was the person who taught me the home preparation is actually a certified pharmacist, and happens to be my boyfriend at the time, but now I'm an ex, okay? And when you use it, it's like, the preparation is very simple, very organic. It's everyday kitchen, like things you have in your kitchen. Do you understand? And it doesn't change the pH or the flora of your vagina. It just makes it feel fresher. Do you understand? And because it feels fresher, you get it, you tend to have it a bit tighter. Do you get me? But I think there are instances where people talk about people putting in ginger, and so I get where some of this conversation is coming from, where I think some women or some females are overstretching it and introducing all sorts of unhealthy things into their vaginas. That I agree, we can have that conversation. But sometimes they overdo in terms of talking about these women who overstretch it, and use things that they are not supposed to introduce into. I think in wanting to have that conversation, they go overboard and they say things that, like, really and truly, it makes it feel as though women feel insecure about themselves, and then it means like that we are self-demeaning, simply because we want to feel clean, we want to feel neat, we want to feel fresh. I mean, for goodness sake, even yourself, cry when you open your legs and then that's foul smell. How, like, you get it? Yeah.
But I'm also thinking that all these things that we put in our vaginas, because I'm thinking that water should be enough to wash and wash well.
Water is enough.
But these days, we see so many things to tighten, to make it sweeter, to make it fresher, and these things leaving particles that now makes the vagina emit foul odor instead of
Making it
making it
refresh.
fresher.
Ako, let me come in
Mhm,
here.
yeah.
I think that all this backdates to our culture
Mhm.
because our older women used to have traditional ways of making the vagina tighter.
Mm.
And those things, as Nita was saying, were so natural and organic that it wasn't bringing any side effects. But now, even those things, we don't find it anymore.
Mm.
And now, people, these things that is so on the trend, I think is a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Because no matter how tight your vagina is, as soon as you get wet,
It
It's
will,
open.
it
the
will open-
vagina will wet.
Yes, the walls will become relaxed. And
So
isn't it
I think
interesting?
the most important thing is water.
Mhm.
Just make sure that
There's
you
enough.
use a lot of water. You can even get this turkey, how do you call it?
Turkey berry.
No,
What?
this thing that they have a name. I've forgotten the name.
Which one?
Cloves.
No, you use to draw water.
There's the strange ball.
Bentwa.
It's called.
Let me say bentwa.
it's called the bob string.
Yes, the
Oh,
bulb.
The bob string.
You can
yes.
have one in your washroom
Mm.
and just fill it with normal cold water. Normal cold water and splash it there. It will give you some sensation that when you even get
Yes.
inside, you just want the thing to happen.
And let me also add that, if you want it to be tighter, you can use warm water instead of the cold water. Now, one of the things you realize that when fresh babies are born, female babies and even male babies, they use warm water to
Clean
the
vagina
vagina and then the penis. Exactly. So you use warm water and then you do the Kegel exercise. If you want a tighter vagina, you do the Kegel exercise.
We'll get to what people should do and not to do.
So
But my issue now is
let me so it means that when you use and even I think this feminine wash that with this cervical cancer on the increase, I think all those things are not necessary.
Yes.
We just have to use ordinary water. Some are using soap. Now people even have open shops for tightening of vagina. Eating, drinking honey, drinking this, doing that. No. If we just have a simple and some of the other, when it is not going away by a normal wash, please contact your guy. Because sometimes some people have some diseases or some people are on some medication
that gives them
that gives them yeast infection, blah infections. So you really have to check all these possibilities before you start douching with all these crazy ideas.
Well, so what are some of the things that we do that may cause our vagina to have this bad odor?
Multiple sexual partners. That comes with STI. Introducing unwanted materials.
Right.
Like I said, maybe ginger or pepper or whatever, into the vagina. Yes.
And even when you use sex toys,
Mhm.
and you don't take good care of the device.
The device, and you don't clean it, and you keep reintroducing it over there.
Yeah.
You could pick up an infection. Yes, and you see,
And even
those who
fingering, sometimes it is necessary that before you start to
you
have
wash
sex.
your hands thoroughly with soap and water, and before you are fingered. And for those who enjoy anal sex with their partners, and they have anal sex and vaginal sex at the same time, you must, if you want to if you're adventurous enough to have anal sex, then please make sure that you finish having the part of the act which is vaginal sex, and then you conclude the act with anal sex. But you don't go in between the anal and then the vagina, because then you'll be introducing the bacteria in the anus are different from the microorganisms in the anus are different from the microorganisms in the vagina. So as you keep introducing
Mixing them.
yes, as you keep going in between
The cocktail will be bad.
the vagina and the anus, you'll be introducing microorganisms from the anus into the vagina, and that could cause an infection. That is why when you
the cocktail will be bad.
So that, and then when you urinate, one thing is, when women urinate, instead of wiping themselves bottom down, they wipe themselves bottom up, top bottom. They wipe themselves bottom up.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Front to back.
Yes.
Instead of doing front to back,
they do back to front. So when you do back to front, you actually pass microorganisms from the anus unknowingly into the vagina. So you do front to back. So you clean downwards.
So you clean from the clitoris going down.
Down.
Yes.
Yes.
Even when you
From
poo
the-
poo.
Yes.
Not just urination. Even when
Yes,
you
when
poo
you poo. Yes.
Right.
So you clean from the front backwards. Yes. And then like when you poo too, you clean from here. You
Okay.
don't clean from here there. You clean from here. Then in that way you don't introduce microorganisms into the vagina, which also will cause infection and then would give you bad odor.
Somebody was even advocating for different towels for your face, your body, and your vagina. Because you see, when you bath, you start from your head, you clean down, and then before you go to your vagina. By the time you realize you're carrying all sorts of particles from here
organisms.
back to your vagina.
Me, for
I
instance,
think it is a good idea. So
Yeah.
you just have to get a face towel.
a face
to do
towel,
that.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because that place is very sensitive.
Sensitive,
Although
yeah.
we are not too conscious about the place, it's a very sensitive place, and which can catch infections easily. And one thing too is that when you have infections and you don't totally treat them to the core, that also brings about the bad odor or the odor that is not that good.
Yeah.
Especially when you have STDs and you don't treat them well.
What about, this may be controversial because I know there are people who like women with a lot of hair in their private parts, but I heard that actually can also cause a woman to
It's when you don't keep it neat.
neat. So it's not about
So-
the hair.
So
it's
no,
about-
the hair
because it
itself
actually
also has a
retains
purpose.
sweat.
Yes.
So if you don't clean it often,
Thoroughly.
yes, because you have bushy hair there and you don't bath twice in a day. And even the ones you have to wait till 3 p.m., 4 p.m. before you bath. Look at the sweat and how the hair will store the sweat and introduce it
Into the
into the
vagina.
vagina, and it takes you to another level.
And you see, like during intercourse, right? The phallus is kind of passed over the clitoris before there is an insertion into the vagina. Now, if the place is bushy and not kept well, right, and it has trapped microorganisms and sweat,
Right.
and the man passes his phallus over your
Yeah.
clitoris before introducing it
Vagina.
into your vagina, look at all the things that it will pick.
Right.
The penis will pick up and introduce it into your vagina.
Right.
You get it? So you have to keep it. If you are someone who likes hair, for me, hair irritates me. But there are some people who like their hair, because if they're clean shaven, it irritates them. Their skin feel irritable. There are some people that without hair, their skin doesn't feel irritable.
Right.
My skin feels irritable with hair, so I do clean shave. But for those whose skin feel irritable without hair, and they keep hair, you have to keep the hair very, very low to the barest minimum. So not clean shave, but
Not
not bushy, to the barest minimum, so that you can wash. When you wash, you actually wash properly and thorough. It's like when you plow the lawn, you get it. So like when you plow the lawn, you see that the lawn is there, properly plowed, and you can see the soil, but it's not bare.
Right.
You still have
Some
exactly, you still have the grass on it, but you see the soil. So that's the kind of like shots I'm talking about, where you still, it's clean enough. I mean, it's okay to be properly maintained, and so then you avoid.
Sorry to cut you, though. We'll come back to, step by step, how women can clean themselves. But this question that I want to ask: does the vagina actually become tighter and sweeter when we do all these things? Does it really become tighter and sweeter?
I don't know this tighter thing at all.
Look,
Because any proper vagina releases some or secretes some, fluid. Unless some people too, as they are aging, that kind of secretion reduces.
Okay.
And sometimes it's even painful.
because they produce less estrogen.
Yes. And the penetration, the thrust in and out sometimes even gives you bruises.
Yeah.
So I don't know which tighter they are talking about. So please, if anybody know any tighter thing,
And it's interesting.
but the thing is that, to me, I think that the vaginal area is like elastic. So the only good thing that you have to do, that if you pull it too much, then it is losing elasticity.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you just manage yourself. Yes, according to how you are supposed to manage yourself. But you don't lose it out there for it to be pulling here and there.
And to
Before
add to that,
it's destroyed.
and to add to that, it's interesting that people want
Because people
small
give
and
birth.
tight vagina. Yeah, the men want big and long penises.
Exactly. So,
So
whilst we are tightening, they
exactly.
are enlarging. So who are we
You see,
pleasing?
me, I always say that, and look, you can. Do you know that no matter how small and tight your vagina is, in the cost of thrust, when the woman is very relaxed and there is enough lubrication, it's actually, the walls actually relax, and it's not as small. It doesn't feel as small and tight as it used to be. It used to feel, you get it, because of the lubrication and everything. And then also, right, if I've lost my line of thought. I'll get back. Let her continue. I'll get back.
Because to be frank, I don't know what kind of psyche the men have that want a tighter vagina, because sometimes you are penetrating it tight, but as soon as you go forth and back about to, even when something happens and you quickly comes, and sometimes that thing happens and no fast, you see that power have come again. You realize
Sometimes
that
they don't go flaccid. Sometimes they don't go flaccid.
the place that has even become even more open
exactly.
than you saw it tighter. So unless you clean again.
Yes. It's true,
Because
because
you know that
sometimes you don't go flaccid after the first come, and they continue to thrust. So when the semen is in you, it makes it more open. Now, my line of thought that I missed was the fact that when the thrust is going on, you can actually do the Kegel to make it tight to hold.
Please explain that particular thing for me.
The Kegel.
Yes.
Okay, so Kegel exercise is more or less like exercise sit-ups for the vaginal walls.
Right.
And what you do is that it's like contraction,
Yes.
opening
So you
and
open and you close.
you open and you close. So a contraction of the vaginal walls. Now, the easiest way to explain how to do the Kegel exercise is that when you are pressed to urinate, right, and you find yourself in a situation where it's unconducive for you to urinate, and you hold the urine,
Right.
when you get to like a place that is convenient, when you start urinating, you see that it doesn't flow immediately.
Right.
It comes in bits. So you realize that you feel yourself unconsciously releasing and holding the urine for a few seconds before the urine starts to flow.
Right.
That act of holding the urine and releasing it is exercises or contracts the wall, the vaginal wall. So when you are, and it's such an exercise that is inconspicuous. You can do it anytime, any day, 24 hours, and nobody actually knows that you are doing the Kegel. Exactly, I'm also doing it. Okay, so you can. So you can do the Kegel anytime, anywhere, anyhow. You like wherever you find. You can even be exercising and still be doing your Kegel exercise.
Right.
You get it, and you can actually do Kegel whilst having sex.
Yeah.
When there's thrust, you can actually do Kegel.
Right.
So when you are diligent with your Kegels, and in the course of thrust, you do the Kegel, you feel the tightness, you feel the walls of the vagina close. And it doesn't matter if you've had 10 children. If you're diligent with the Kegel exercise, your vaginal walls will feel the same as though you've not had children at all. So yeah.
Well, so let's wrap up. Let's give our women at least step-by-step process of cleansing the vagina.
I'll let Afua start and then I'll finish.
I think that the first thing is don't let people give you pressure.
Don't buy pressure for yourself.
Don't buy pressure for yourself. Don't let what a man says about you, if you know that you do the correct things, give you pressure. The other thing is that make sure that you are neat. You bath, you wash with water, you make sure that you wear a lot of cotton underwears, and you are good to go. And you see, and you watch what is being introduced into your vagina.
Drink a lot of water.
Yeah. And make sure that if you see anything that is unusual, you visit your hospital and talk to your doctor and nothing. And if you know you're on medication, you ask from your doctors that if I'm on this medication, this is how I feel. So what do I do? And I'm sure they can give you a professional advice.
Yeah, so I'll also add that wash your panties. Okay, I always say that I think it's best to soak your panties in Parazone and wash them and rinse them with an antiseptic and then dry them under the sun. Okay, because Parazone in itself is a disinfectant, so it kills any bacteria and all that. So when you do that and you dry it under the sun, and you don't even have an iron, the sun alone, the sun alone kills any microorganism, yes. And then also drink a lot of water, right? Of any time you see. I've heard people say that panty liners are not good. In fact, panty liners keep you fresh, because if you don't use panty liners and you urinate, there is always an after drop, and when it drops into your panty, it's the odor is not pleasant at all. So panty liners are good.
I think the problem with the panty liner is that people, somebody can wear panty liner from morning to evening. I think that is what people are not comfortable with. But if you can change
you
it,
do that for even a long time, sometimes you can get septic shock.
Okay.
Yeah. So it needs to be changed, and the material, the kind of material that the liner is made, it should be cotton. It should be a cotton top that is breathable.
Right.
Do you get it?
Right.
And then you should always have a pack of wipes, baby wipes. Okay, so if you don't, if you are prone to septic shock when you use panty liners, then always have baby wipes. So anytime you urinate, you use the baby wipes.
Now vagina wipes.
Even vagina wipes. You use the vagina wipes to clean yourself, or baby wipes if you have to clean yourself. Okay, and then it keeps you fresh. And practice your Kegel exercises and eat healthy, eat a lot of fruits and vegetables, and wash yourself with water. Like, please wash yourself. Please wash yourself with water. It's important.
Stop saying the vagina self cleans. Yeah. I don't.
Because it stinks.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Well, we've brought this episode to an end. Go and wash your vagina. Don't sit there and saying that it is self-cleansing and it is this and it is that. Just use water. I mean, you don't lose anything by using a lot of water to wash your vagina. Well, my name is Afua Obusu. I did this episode with Nita and Afua. We'll come your way another time with more vagina washing tips. See you another time.
This program was proudly supported by Vagina Mineral Water, Mini Cakes by Menzo, Just Wine 233, I Need Phones, Electronic Store, and Make Fashionable, As This Looks, AK's Beauty Bar, and Type 1 Imagery.